Tonight on 8 out of 10 Cats. Direct from Glasgow, Frankie Boyle. Funny man, Iain Carr. And their captain, Dave Spikey. And facing them tonight, from the Friday Night Project, Rouse. Lovable scamp, Iain. And their captain, Sean Locke. Now, go crazy for your host, Jimmy Carr.
Good evening and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, 1 in 20 people think that Conan the Barbarian is a real character? Does Professor Dumbledore not teach them anything? 1 in 10 women in the UK has a sexually transmitted disease. I like those odds. And 1 in 5 drivers don't understand road signs. This means you've cut me up. Let's get started. We're kicking off with the What's the Poll round. I'm going to show you 5 people who are all popular answers on the same poll. All our panellists have to do is tell me, what's the poll? OK, here is your first clip.
I don't want to be emotional, but it's one of the greatest moments in my life.
Hey.
That was very much the high point of Nelson Mandela's career there, meeting the Spice Girls. What poll do you think Nelson Mandela might have appeared on?
Is it people who still don't see the funny side of the show Porridge?
Sadly, no.
Is it people who've never appeared on Through the Keyhole?
So, is it people who've inspired classic wrestling moves?
Is it a poll of people you can't really take the piss out of?
He's got a funny voice, though. We can laugh at that, can't we?
Well, you can, but if you've got any dignity or self-respect, you wouldn't.
He's got a funny voice, though, hasn't he? Is it people who used to have the first name free?
Is it people whose names are rhyming slang for drinks? Nelson Mandela, Pint of Stella.
Isn't it quicker to just say Pint of Stella? Well, it's like you said Nelson Mandela, the bloke served someone else, isn't he?
Is it people, if they had extensions, they'd look like a really old Beyonce?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah. 1 point.
OK, let's have a look at the next person.
Jesus loves us. I can feel it in the soles of my feet, flowing up through my spine, into my heart, all through my veins, surging through my blood. The love of Jesus is quivering at my fingertips like electricity. Who will share it with me? Who wants to feel the love of Jesus?
Praise the
Yes. Yes. Yes.
No.
Yes. Hugh Grant there, playing a Scottish evangelist in A Very Peculiar Practice from 1986. So, Nelson Mandela and Hugh Grant, what have they got in common? What poll might they have appeared on?
Is it a poll of people who've met Jerry Halliwell but had no idea who she was?
Is it famous BMW drivers? Because I know Nelson, he bought one because he wanted the extra leg room, and you got one for the extra headroom.
Has Hugh Grant got a lot of community centres named after him? Is that a possibility? Am I close? I mean, we're working here. You're not even helping us.
You're kind of... We've touched along the right lines, but I'll show you someone else.
Hello, Moira. Hello. Well done.
Well,
thank you.
Indeed, yes.
Well, I expect you want to be on your homeward journey now. It's straight through here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. And I think it's time for us to go as well. Hope you'll join us again next week for some more adventures. Until then...
That was Moira Stewart hosting the Adventure Game from 1980. Moira Stewart, Hugh Grant and Nelson Mandela. What poll do you think they might have appeared on?
Is it people who can remember exactly where they were when Nelson Mandela was released from prison?
Does she still read the news, Moira Stewart? Because I quite miss her.
She gets a paper some days, yeah.
She's a proper newsreader, though, isn't she? She's a journalist.
Yeah.
Right, as opposed to Kaplinsky. I hate... Natasha Kaplinsky, to me, looks like a businessman's wife. Like a journalist. You know? I want my news read by someone who, if they entered a ballroom dancing competition, would definitely lose.
Kaplinsky also sounds like a kind of maverick New York cop that doesn't play by the rules to me.
Kaplinsky, put those donuts down and solve the case!
Is it something to do with, like, mumbling? Because she mumbled, hello, I'm Myra Stewart. And he's like, hello, I'm English, and then Nelson sounds a bit as if he's still behind the brick wall.
I would say no. You're along the right lines there, but I'll show you another one.
Why is it taking so long? Why haven't you been back here to...
So where were you 12 years ago? What were you doing?
School. At school, yeah.
High school. I've been working my ass off and you're at school. Terrific. You question me why I wasn't here? I've been all over the world working my ass off and you've done nothing. I'm underwriting you. Do you know that?
Oh. Sean Connery there getting grumpy with a journalist at a film premiere. At 74, Sean Connery now has a whole new range of gadgets. Pay attention, Bond. This isn't a normal bath. You can walk right in.
I like the fact that Sean Connery couldn't pronounce the word arse. I think he's got a great voice for swearing. Push flaps.
He does have an incredible ability with accent, Sean Connery. The end of is it the end of Highlander 2? A very popular film, I'm sure. When he comes in at the end and says, "Hello, my name is Juan Carlos from Spain." No.
Is it people who look like people out of Police Academy? Nelson Mandela looks like Hightower. She looks like, it's the stick-up. And Hugh Grant's the one who makes those noises. Game over. And even though he's white and the man was black.
Sadly, no. Right, let's have a look at your final person. That's Ronan Keating there on Ireland's Late Late Show, presumably doing some sort of gay exchange ad.
Is it to do with accents? They've all got a really quite an attractive-ish accent that, you know...
Moira?
Yeah, Moira. Yeah.
Oh, good night. Well, wearing a gimp mask. Good night.
You were going to eat your words, Alan Carr, because, Dave Spikey, you're absolutely right.
Oh.
They've all appeared on a survey of people with the most pleasant voices. It's surprising how many people in the top 10 had regional accents. Of course, I don't have an accent. This is just how things sound when they're pronounced properly. So, at the end of that round, it's 0 points to Sean, Rob and Iain, and 1 point to Dave, Frankie and Alan. The next round is called The Poll with a Hole. We've looked through hundreds of surveys, past and present, from around the world and unearthed some fascinating facts. Unfortunately, each statistic is missing one salient piece of information, so it's up to our panellists to fill in the gaps. Here's your first question. This is from an age concern study from January. 50% of the over 65s don't have a what?
Is it that 50% of over 65s don't have a real hip?
Is it 50% of over 65s don't have a clue why they went to the cupboard in the first place?
Is it 50% of over 65s don't have a chance against a panther?
Is it 50% of over 65s don't have a waist? As they get older, all men especially, the waist just get higher and higher, and the belt gets, the pants just get higher. 103, belt there, zip there. Hello, I'm 103.
And the only people I know, old people, they have trays over the bath. So they can organise the loofah and the soap, and it's all there. And then they need an emergency. There it is.
People still use loofahs. That's great, isn't it? That's an over 65 thing, a loofah, isn't it?
Well, no, it's not. It cleans your back.
I know, they're great.
It's a young man's thing, I would have thought, the loofah, surely, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's a young man's thing. Yeah. No, the kids watching will be thinking, yeah, loofahs, yeah.
What is a loofah? What's a loofah?
Do you want to know?
That's a bloody funny
I
name.
know, because the worst Christmas present I ever got was a grow-your-own loofah kit.
Oh. That is quite bad as a gift.
Whereabouts do loofahs live in the wild, then?
Underwater. No, they don't. They grow on trees.
Is it like a sea cucumber when it's alive?
No, it grows on land. It grows on land. It's a vegetable.
And surely it's like a sponge and grows underwater, isn't it?
No, that's what I thought.
I disagree with you.
Yeah, but you don't know fucking everything, do you?
Well, I think there should be a gardener special on loofahs then, if that's the case.
That's loofahs grow on trees. They're like a gourd. They're like a gourd.
A good.
What's a good?
I can't believe I'm working with these botanical ignoramuses.
I've never seen a loofah tree. If there were loofah trees...
Of course you haven't seen...
Well, because they don't exist, that's why. If there were loofah trees, we'd know about them. They sound brilliant.
The reason you haven't seen one is because old people have taken them. I'll give you a clue. It's sort of about companionship.
That her partner?
Is it a best friend?
Best friend is the right answer. Oh. This is from a survey featured in the Daily Mail, March 2005. 86% of bosses feel that what is a disadvantage in business?
Is it 86% of bosses feel that speaking in riddles is a disadvantage in business? My first is in piano, but not in canoe. Would you like to invest in my shipping company, Jimmy?
Yes, I would.
It is in canoe, isn't it? It's like look at your face when you went...
Is it incontinence? I know. Is it giving your firm one of them stupid punny names? That's a disadvantage. You know, like Specs in the City.
I saw one. They did haircuts and they had sunbeds, and it was called Tanzania.
The cleverest one's near the Tate Modern. Tate Modern. Have you seen it? That's clever, because that's like French. It's not funny, but it's clever, isn't it?
I think that would be an advantage in business because people are morons.
There's a great one in Bath, and it's a coffee shop, and they've got it slightly wrong because it's called Rhythm and Beans. If it was an off licence, Rhythm and Booze, yeah, that's fine. But Rhythm and Beans, and you see people looking at it going.
There's a hairdresser near us, and the girl's called Valerie, and full march because it's called Val does her.
I can give you a clue.
Go on then.
It's you're sort of along the right lines when you said it was about how people speak.
Is it having a working class voice?
That's exactly the right answer. Yes, 86% of bosses feel that a working class accent is a disadvantage in business. I've done all right. Strike a light. OK. 25% of Brits find what helps them nod off?
Listening to Clanad on heroin?
Marzipan. My mum, who was dyslexic, put marzipan on our Christmas cake once.
A Bergerac box set.
Is it listening to your partner tell you about their day at work?
Is it nitrous oxide, anaesthesia? That'll help you know that. Because I had anaesthesia, and you know when they say they give you the thing, the injection, the anaesthesia, and they go like, count backwards from 10, and you go 10, 9, 8, and then I heard somebody go, whoops, you don't want that, do you? You know, like, you go, what do you mean?
I shall tell you. 25% of Brits find that a bath helps them nod off. Oh. It is very dangerous to fall asleep in the bath. I keep myself awake by constantly making toast. So at the end of that round, it's 3 points for Sean's team and 5 points for Dave's team. Our next round is word association. We've polled the nation and asked people to give us the word or phrase that popped into their heads when we said the following things. OK, everyone, here's your first clip.
And here comes Alan Collier from Doncaster. His hobbies include Taekwondo, which is a form of the martial arts, a bit like karate. You do not argue with Alan Collier.
That was Alan Collier, winner of the 1980 Yorkshire Disco Dance Championships. What I'm looking for is the top 3 things the British public said when we said the 1980s.
Can I just say, isn't television shit nowadays? If that was on every channel, 24 hours a day, I'd have square eyes.
I'd like to have him in a snow shaker. just constantly dancing like that.
What must his life have been like in Yorkshire? The locals must have constantly been laying siege to his house like the end of Frankenstein or something. Kill the disco dancer.
He's just great, isn't he, Alan Collier?
Can we watch it again?
That's all right. Have another look.
And here comes Alan Collier from Doncaster. You do not argue with Alan Collier.
Not only do you not argue with Alan Colley, you don't talk to him.
Had he just come from the pits when he dressed like that? Do you reckon he talked like that? And he was like, fucking hell, zip.
Is this why they started closing down the mines? Because this is what they were getting up to.
Top 3 answers that the public most associated with the 1980s.
Argies. Thatcher.
Yes, it is. Second most commonly associated phrase with the word or phrase with the 1980s.
Aha!
Do you mean the band, or have you just thought of something brilliant?
The band, or as they're known in more curious countries, aha!
I can't decide if it's Fame the Musical or the Iranian embassy siege.
You were quite close with Fame.
Leroy.
Leg warmers.
Leg warmers. Yes, it was.
Wow.
You've still got to get the most commonly associated word with the 1980s.
The mullet. The mullets were big, weren't they?
I am going to give you that. Yes, the phrase most associated with the 1980s was bad hair. OK, here's your next one. That was, of course, the world-famous water-skiing monkeys of Japan to illustrate the word animals. Fingers on buzzers, what word or phrase did the nation most associate with animals?
You think they would have put those monkeys on those inflatable bananas? It would have looked more...
I think this is the new Neverland. Jackson's latest project.
The thing is, they wouldn't do it if they didn't like it.
Exactly.
They love it.
Yeah.
They've got the option to bail out and have a swim.
Well, since the PG Tips work dried up, you know, they're all working as reps now. I just don't know how a monkey is driving a speedboat. Because you can't trust a monkey. You can train it, you can never trust it.
Yeah.
You speak from bitter experience,
Yes,
I imagine.
And if they can send a monkey into space, surely this is nothing. Surely this is a step down for the boys.
It's just the monkeys at NASA pissing about on the day off.
They're having a bit of me time.
When we said animals, what do you think popped into the British public's minds?
Shagging. When I was a kid, dogs on our street, you couldn't go out in the street. They were just doing it, weren't they? Just pushing each other up and down the street. My mum told me they were dancing.
That story is both quaint and disgusting.
It is. And very unsettling, because the first school disco I went to, I got expelled. Is it super furry?
The number one answer was fur. OK, what other word would you associate with animals?
Shit.
You're absolutely right.
That never happened on Family Fortunes, did it?
What other word would you associate with animals? What are they? They're lovely.
Adorable.
Adorable is along the right line.
Lovable.
Friendly.
Cute. Cuddly.
Cute. Who said cute? You were right. So at the end of that round, I can tell you that Sean's team have 6 points and Dave's team have 11 points. And the winner is the name of our final round. I'm going to give the teams a series of opinion polls, and it's up to them to buzz in and tell me who or what they think came top. Here is your first one. This is taken from a survey featured in The Independent, November 2004. The most annoying thing about a work colleague.
They're always going on about their fucking Blackberries. Who cares? It's just a little bit of plastic that does emails. I'm not bothered about it.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I get my emails anywhere I go, so it's...
Is it sometimes that you do a panel show and the person in the middle refuses to wear trousers? It's not really like show like that's abuse.
You used to work in a call centre, didn't you, Alan?
Bartley card lost and stolen.
He's not lost it, has he?
Still got it.
Was there no annoying habits there?
Yes, they had this one day we had to come in as a sports theme and no one could be bothered and we're going, who's going to fall for this shit? Just as our supervisor came round dressed as a jockey. And then you get 2 swear words said to you throughout the call. You have every right, legally, to terminate the call. So I used to egg them on. Can you speak up, you fat bitch?
OK, most annoying thing about a work colleague?
Or when they bring a baby in, when they just had a baby. And they bring a baby, I've got a baby. So what? I'm trying to work. I don't want to look at a baby. It's horrible. It's ugly. I know, but can I have a look? Touch my baby. They don't say that, actually.
There's always someone as well at work who comes in when they've got a day off. You know what I mean? Just to show what they look like in their jeans.
Most annoying thing about a work colleague, it's hygiene related.
BO, body odour.
Correct. Yes, the most annoying thing about a work colleague is body odour. I imagine it's particularly bad if you work in a sweatshop. OK, this is from a survey featured in The Times, July 2004. Greatest British Olympian.
Is it that one with the tash? Fatima Whitbread.
Is it Jeff Capes, the world's strongest man, and officially he still is, but he's so strong he's not allowed to enter anymore?
You know the thing about Jeff Capes, really interesting thing about him, is he keeps budgies. And you just imagine all that strength, and he just... but he can pick up a little budgie. And then go...
He's had a checkered history, though, to be fair, Jeff. He used to work at the Yellow Pages factory, but he got sacked for destroying stock.
Why do they put that World's Strongest Man thing on at Christmas?
Fucking brilliant.
Well, it is, isn't it? It's a load of shit, and it a man pulling a mobile home, and it from there to there. Why do they have it on?
A man lifting big round stone balls, and they get heavier, and he's got to put them up on a higher thing each time. That, to me, is genius.
No, they're not strong, they're just fat. Aren't they? They're just obese, and they should be the world's fattest That's what they should say.
This is Stephen Redgrave.
Steve Redgrave is number 2.
Is it Sebastian Coe?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
Sebastian Coe.
Well done.
This one's from a YouGov survey from April this year. Top female sexual fantasy. Iain Lee.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well done, mate.
Apparently so. To be told they've got lovely boobs by a stranger. I don't know, a builder or something. They love it, don't they?
Is it, like, just something very simple, like maybe a phone call 3 days later?
Is it wearing a gimp mask and being pulled around on a chain like a dog? I mean, women aren't my strong points.
Top female sexual fantasy.
It's something romantic,
It's something
isn't it?
kind of
Yeah.
nice.
Is it like roses?
I'm going to tell you, the top female sexual fantasy is sex with a regular partner. Well, ladies, I'm regular. Eat a lot of bran. Well, that sound tells me that it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means that the final scores are Sean's team have 9 points, but Dave is the winner with 13 points. Thank you to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and all of you for watching at home. That's it from us. Good night. Well, thank you for watching 8 out of 10 Cats. If you want to watch another episode, you know, feel free, or you know, pop to Pornhub for some different kind of fun. Good luck. You can also go to jimmycarr.com and buy tickets to see me live. I'd love that. I'd like it if you liked and subscribed. But you know, don't feel pressured. Do your thing. You be you.